Sam's out? Sam's out? Okay, there's Sam. This is how Sam looked in high school, by the way. Back in the day.
Well, I think that's about it. Can't help you anymore.
Thank you.
Lost cause. Next!
You're a lost cause.
Well, Marty!
Well, howdy, Bill.
It ain't Bocephus Cletius.
Hey, don't cover my mouth up, man.
Sorry about that. What can I do for you today?
Okay, I don't like being a straitjacket. All right. Well, I need a little, sir. Do not touch my hair like that. Well, I need to get a little haircut, but just a little bit off the sides. Been having some trouble with my kids going to sleep.
Tell me about it.
Well, I keep telling them these stories, but, I can't tell them like you do.
Wait a second. You telling me you're trying to tell them the same fairy tales that we were told?
I keep telling
You
them,
can't
I've heard you
do
tell the
that.
same story, but I can't tell them like you do.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is what you got to do. You got to tell them the fairy tales that we've heard, but a little bit different. I'll give an example. I'll tell you the story of rindercella.
I like that one. Rindercella's a good one.
Once upon a time, in the corn country, there lived a beautiful girl, and her name was Rindercella. Now, Rindercella lived with her mugly other, and her two sad bisters. Two sad bisters. Don't stop. I get it going. Two sad bisters. Now, also lived in this corn country was a very Pransome Hints. Now this Pransome Hints, he decided to have himself a fancy fall, and he invited people for riles amount, especially the pitch reaper. Now, the pitch reaper.
Okay. Yeah,
The rich
history. Oh.
rich people. Now, the mugly other and the two sad blisters, they went to go buy themselves some, what do they call them these days? Them dancy fesses for the bancy fall. But Rindercella, she couldn't go because all she had to wear was some old riddy bags. Now, the night of the bancy fall, because Rindercella couldn't go, man, she was just a cat. She just cat there enshrined. Yeah, while she was, you know what? While she was kitten there shrined, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, appeared before her Gary Mudfather. And he tapped her on the head with his magic wand, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there was a sick boach and Hicks White sources to take her to that fancy fall. But he told her, Rindercella, you best, I'm going to turn these around so he said, Rindercella, now you best be getting home by midnight, otherwise I'll turn you into a donkey. So, of course, Rindercella went to the Bancy Fall, and the Pransome Hints met her at the door because he was awaiting and watching behind a wooden window. And you know what they did?
What did they do?
Rindercella and the Pransome Hints, ooh, they did dance all night. You know what? Eventually, they lell in love.
I'm so glad he let it.
They lell in love. You ever lell in love before?
Only once.
Saw your hair. So, all of a sudden, that clock struck night mid, and Rindercella goes shrieking down the rares, and before she was, I got this, hold on. Before she beats the rod, she slopped her dripper. Just slops it right out. So the Pransome Hints, the next day, he goes around this corn country, and he is looking everywhere for that beautiful girl who slopped her dripper. rindercella's house. Tries it on the ugly oven, it fitted it. Tries it on the two ugly sisters, it fitted it. Tries it on rindercella, it fitted it. And it was the rise size. Flip that somehow. And they lived happily ever after. Now listen here. The moral is this. If you go to a fancy fall and you want to prance some hints to lull and fub with you, remember to drop your slip. Wait, slop your trip. Hold on, I'm not done.
Sir, cut that off and hurry. That feels better already.
Well, I think that's about as good as I can do for you. Next time, I'll tell you the story about the pea fiddle eggs.
Woo, I like that.